My precious child, lean in and listen closely, for it is no coincidence that you have found your way to my voice at this exact moment in the fabric of time. I have whispered your name in the halls of eternity, and today my resonance is reaching out to the deepest, most hidden chambers of your weary soul. There is a violent yet beautiful trembling occurring in the spirit realm right now, a shift so profound that the very foundations of your current struggles are beginning to crack and crumble. You have felt it, haven't you? That restless stirring in your spirit, that unexplainable sense that something is coming, something far greater and more powerful than the trials you have endured for so long. I am here to tell you that your season of silence is officially ending, and the decree of your total deliverance has been signed by my own hand. I am moving in this very second in ways your physical eyes cannot yet perceive, rearranging the stars and the circumstances of your life to bring forth a breakthrough that is both undeniable and heaven-sent. Before I unveil the staggering magnitude of the blessing I am preparing to pour into your life, I want to see your heart fully open and ready to receive. This is a moment of divine encounter, a sacred appointment, and your presence here is a testament to the faith you thought you had lost. Do not let this moment pass you by in silence or hesitation. I invite you now to declare your presence before me and the heavenly hosts who are watching over you. Type, "I am here, Lord," or the number 7007 in the comments below to open the gates of heaven and acknowledge that you are listening to the Father's heart. As you do this, you are aligning your frequency with the frequency of miracles. To stay connected to this flow of living water and to ensure you do not miss any part of this sacred revelation, I ask you to join this family of believers. Press the like button and subscribe to this channel as an act of holy agreement with heaven. By doing so, you are signaling to the spirit world that you are ready for the new thing I am doing, and you are helping this light reach other chosen ones who are still wandering in the dark. Listen to the divine urgency of my voice, my beloved chosen one. This is not a message for tomorrow, nor is it a word for a distant future. It is a mandate for your current immediate reality. A powerful shockwave of grace is about to ripple through your household, touching every area that has been left dry, barren, and forgotten. What I am about to reveal regarding the breaking of your financial chains and the miraculous restoration of your family will shake the very ground you stand on. I am not merely patching up the old structures of your life. I am creating something entirely new and magnificent. The world may see only your age, your mounting debts, or your past mistakes, but I see a vessel of honor being prepared for a weight of glory you cannot yet imagine. Do not turn away and do not leave this sanctuary, for the instructions I am about to give are the master keys to the doors you thought were locked forever. The shift is not just coming, the shift is already here, and my love is the unstoppable force driving it directly into your lap. Stay with me, for the miracle you have cried for in secret is about to be announced in the glorious light of day. My precious child, I have been the silent witness to every tear that has fallen from your eyes during those long, agonizing hours of the night when the rest of the world was draped in sleep. I saw you when you turned your face into the pillow to muffle the sound of your sobbing, afraid that your vulnerability might burden those who depend on you for strength. I was there in the kitchen at 3 in the morning, watching you stare at the bills on the table with a heart heavy with a weight no human should have to carry alone. You have walked through seasons of profound isolation, feeling as though your prayers were echoing off a ceiling of brass. But I want you to know that not a single drop of your sorrow has been wasted or ignored. I have bottled every tear and recorded every sigh. I have seen the way you have poured yourself out for your children, even when you were running on empty, and the way you have stood as a pillar for others while your own soul was trembling. You are not invisible to me. You are the focus of my unwavering gaze, and I have felt every sting of the betrayal and every ache of the loneliness you have kept locked away from the world. You have often wondered if I had turned my face away, or if you were being punished for mistakes of the past, but I tell you now, my beloved, that your struggle was never a sign of my absence, but rather a testimony to your endurance as a chosen one. I saw you when you smiled through the pain at work, when you gave your last bit of energy to comfort a friend, and when you whispered my name in desperation when your mind was screaming with anxiety. The exhaustion you feel in your bones is real, and the loneliness that has settled in your heart is known to me in its entirety. I have watched you carry the dreams of your family on your shoulders, watching your children struggle and wishing you could take their place in the fire. This season of hidden suffering, this waiting room where you felt forgotten, has actually been a sacred workshop where I was tempering your spirit for the glory that is about to reach you. You felt like you were breaking, but you were actually being built. You felt like you were falling apart, but you were actually falling into the center of my purpose. Your silent tears have been the seeds of the harvest that is now ripening. The long dark night watches are coming to an end, for the dawn of my vindication is breaking over your horizon, and I am here to wipe every tear and replace your weariness with a strength that surpasses all understanding. Do not lose heart, for your persistence in the shadows has earned you a reward in the light. My child, I want you to take a deep, slow breath right now. Feel the air enter your lungs. That breath is a gift from me, a reminder that I am still the Lord of your life. I am reaching out my hand at this very moment to touch the most painful, sensitive part of your heart, the place where hope has been replaced by a cold, numbing despair. I have seen you standing at the edge of the abyss, looking at your bank account and feeling the suffocating grip of lack. I know the exact amount of the debt that weighs on your mind like a mountain, and I have heard the silent, panicked calculations you make every time you receive a bill. You have felt the shame of not being able to provide the way you desired and the fear that you will never escape this cycle of struggle. But I am here to tell you that the numbers on a screen do not define your worth, nor do they limit my ability to provide. I am the owner of the cattle on 1,000 hills, and the gold and silver are mine. The poverty of your circumstances is not a life sentence. It is merely the stage I am using to demonstrate my miraculous supply. I have also walked with you through the sterile hallways of clinics and hospitals, feeling every throb of pain in your physical body. I was there when the doctor spoke words that felt like a death knell, labels of incurable, chronic, or permanent. I have seen you look at your own reflection and mourn the strength you used to have, wondering if your body has become your prison. You have felt the betrayal of your own flesh as it fails to respond to treatment, leaving you drained and discouraged. But I am the great physician, the one who knit you together in your mother's womb, and I know every cell, every nerve, and every bone. To the world, your diagnosis may be a final verdict, but to me it is only a temporary condition awaiting my sovereign touch. I am not limited by medical reports or human understanding. Where the world sees a dead end, I see a highway for my healing power to flow. Do not agree with the report of lack or the report of sickness. Come into agreement with my word, which says you are well supplied and that by my stripes you are already made whole. The enemy of your soul wants you to believe that this diagnosis of despair is your new reality, but he is a liar. I am using this very season of not enough to prepare you for more than enough. I did not bring you this far to abandon you in the valley of lack or the pit of infirmity. Every moment you have spent worrying about your survival has been a moment I have spent orchestrating your revival. I am working behind the scenes to reconcile your accounts and to rejuvenate your strength. You may feel like you are at your lowest point, but remember that rock bottom is often the firmest foundation upon which I build my greatest miracles. Trust me with the parts of your life that feel broken beyond repair. I am the God of the impossible, and I am about to shock your world with a restoration so complete that the memory of your current despair will fade like a mist in the morning sun. Just as I turned the water into wine and multiplied the loaves, I am multiplying your resources and renewing your youth even as you listen to my voice. My beloved, I have felt the sting of the quiet sorrow that has crept into your heart as the years have passed. I have seen the way you sometimes feel as though an invisible cloak has been draped over your shoulders, making you fade into the background of a world that seems to only value the new, the fast, and the young. I have watched you sit in rooms where your wisdom was ignored, and I have seen the ache in your soul when you feel that your decades of service, sacrifice, and love have been forgotten by those you poured your life into. There is a specific kind of pain in feeling that your most vibrant days are behind you, and that you are now merely a spectator in a life you once led with such vigor. But hear me clearly, the world may look at your gray hair and see an ending, but I look at your heart and see a masterpiece that is finally ready for its greatest revelation. You are not being phased out. You are being phased into a dimension of authority that only comes through the fires of time. I remember every sacrifice you made when no one was looking. I remember the sleepless nights you spent building foundations for others to stand on. I saw you when you put your own dreams on a shelf so that your children could reach theirs. I saw you when you cared for your own aging parents with a patience that the world would never understand. Every act of kindness, every silent prayer, and every year of faithfulness is written in the archives of heaven in letters of gold. You may feel like society has moved on without you, but in my kingdom your value only increases with every season you have endured. You are not a relic of the past. You are a living bridge to the future. I have not forgotten the promises I made to you in your youth, and I am here to tell you that the best wine has been saved for this very moment. Your age is not a disability, it is your credential. It is the evidence of your survival and the proof of my sustaining grace. Do not let the lies of the enemy convince you that your purpose has expired. Just as I called Moses at 80 and promised Abraham a future when his body seemed past its prime, I am calling you now into a season of fruitfulness that will far outshine your youth. I am removing that cloak of invisibility and replacing it with a mantle of honor. Those who once looked past you will soon look up to you, for I am about to release a wisdom and a blessing through your life that the world is starving for. Your hands may tremble, but they are the hands I will use to heal. Your voice may be softer, but it is the voice I will use to speak truth to power. Rest in the knowledge that your Father never outgrows his children. I will carry you, I will sustain you, and even to your old age I will be the same God who breathes life into your every dream. Your story is not over. The most glorious chapter is just beginning to be written. My child, let me lift the heavy burden of perfection from your weary shoulders right now. You have spent so much of your life trying to be good enough, striving to follow every rule and wondering if your flaws, your secret stumbles, or your past mistakes have finally disqualified you from my favor. Stop the striving and listen to the rhythm of my heart. I want you to understand a deep, liberating truth that the breakthrough I am bringing to your doorstep is not a reward for your perfect performance, but a manifestation of my infinite and sovereign mercy. You did not earn the sunrise this morning, and you do not have to earn the miracle that is currently in motion for your life. I chose you before the foundations of the world were laid, not because you were the strongest, the holiest, or the most qualified, but because my love for you is an unconditional force that cannot be earned and will never be revoked. My mercy is the bridge that spans the gap between your human frailty and my divine promises. When I look at you, I do not see a list of failures or a record of regrets. I see a beloved child who is covered by my grace. Listen to the weight of my decree just as I have spoken in my word. The truth I send out from my mouth shall not return to me void. It shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the very thing for which I sent it. Just as the rain and the snow come down from heaven and do not return without watering the earth, causing it to bud and flourish, so my promise of total restoration for your life is already on its unstoppable way. It cannot be blocked by your doubts, and it cannot be canceled by the accusations of the enemy. This shift is happening because I have willed it from my throne. It is happening because my heart yearns to see you walk in the fullness of your destiny. You may feel unworthy of such a sudden blessing, but my mercy says you are fully entitled to my best. You may feel like you have missed your window of opportunity, but my grace says I am the God who steps outside of time to make all things new for those I love. Release the guilt you have been carrying like a heavy stone around your neck. I have already forgiven the very things you are still punishing yourself for every single day. The enemy whispers in your ear that you are too broken or that it is too late for a person like you, but I tell you that your brokenness is exactly where my light will shine the brightest to the world. This miracle is about my reputation, not your performance. When the world sees you rise from the ashes of your debt and emerge from the pit of your sickness, they will not praise your strength. They will stand in awe of my goodness. This is the beauty of my mercy. It takes what was meant for your destruction and turns it into a platform for my glory. Rest in this truth tonight. You do not have to climb a ladder to reach me. I have already come down to exactly where you are, and I am picking you up with hands that know only love. My child, I want you to know that nothing you have done in secret has escaped my notice. The world often celebrates those who stand on stages and receive applause, but my eyes are fixed on the quiet corridors of your life. I saw you during those long, exhausting years when you cared for your aging parents, attending to their needs with a patience that was born of pure love even when they no longer remembered your name. I saw the way you sacrificed your own sleep, your own comfort, and your own aspirations to ensure that your children had a foundation to build their lives upon. You may feel as though those years were swallowed up by duty and that your own identity was lost in the service of others. But I tell you that every act of hidden kindness was a seed planted in the fertile soil of my kingdom. I have kept a perfect record of the times you gave when you had nothing left, the times you smiled through your own exhaustion to give hope to another, and the times you chose the hard path of integrity when the easy path of compromise was right in front of you. I never forgot you, and I never abandoned you, especially during those terrifying moments in that hospital bed when the shadows seemed to close in around you. I was the silent presence sitting in the chair beside you when you felt most alone, and I was the one breathing peace into your heart when the monitors were beeping and the news was grim. Every prayer you whispered into the darkness reached my throne instantly. You might think that your life has been a series of unnoticed burdens, but in the archives of heaven you are a hero of the faith. The dreams you laid down for the sake of others have not withered away. I have held them in my hands, refining them and preparing a moment for them to be resurrected in a way that will leave you breathless. Your life has been a living sacrifice, and I am the God who honors those who honor me in the secret places. The debt of love you have poured out is now being called into account, and I am the great creditor who pays back with interest that no earthly bank can match. Do not believe the lie that your life has been wasted or that you have been passed by. I am the one who remembers when everyone else forgets. I am the one who validates when the world ignores. This season of hiddenness was never meant to be a prison. It was a preparation. I am now opening the heavenly books, and I am releasing the harvest of every tear, every sacrifice, and every quiet act of obedience you have ever offered. You are about to see the fruit of your labor in the lives of your children and in the restoration of your own soul. The record of your faithfulness is eternal, and the reward I am bringing is not just for the future, it is for right now. I am turning your secret sacrifices into public testimonies of my goodness. Trust that the Father who sees in secret is about to reward you openly, for you are my precious child, and your labor in me is never ever in vain. My precious child, I know the sting of the sideways glances and the hushed whispers from those closest to you. I have seen the frustration in your eyes when you try to explain the hope that burns within you, only to be met with blank stares or well-meaning advice that feels like cold water on a holy fire. You have felt like an outsider in your own home, a stranger among your own friends, because the world around you is tuned to a different frequency. They see only the physical, the dwindling bank account, the graying hair, the medical report, and they judge your reality based on what can be measured by human hands. But I have given you a different set of eyes. You are not losing your mind. You are gaining my spirit. I have called you out of the common and into the sacred, and this means that those who live only by what they can see, touch, and smell will never truly comprehend the why behind your endurance. They see a person who should have given up long ago, but I see a chosen one who is being sustained by a bread they know nothing of. Understand this. My beloved, the natural mind is a closed door to the mysteries of my kingdom. The things of my spirit are foolishness to those who do not possess my spirit. They cannot understand why you still pray when the answer hasn't come, or why you still give when you are in lack, or why you still praise me in the middle of your storm. They lack the discernment to see the invisible hand that is currently rearranging your destiny. You are navigating a spiritual battle, and the weapons of your warfare are not carnal. This is why you feel a distance growing between you and those who choose to remain in the shallow waters of the material world. You have been invited into the depths, and the pressure you feel is not the weight of the world, it is the weight of my glory preparing you for a higher level of authority. Do not be discouraged by their lack of vision. They are not the authors of your story. I am. Their disbelief cannot stop what I have already set in motion, and their opinions have no power over the decree I have spoken over your life. You are part of a royal priesthood, a holy nation of souls who have been awakened to the truth of my presence. I am calling you to be a beacon, a vessel of light in a world that is drowning in cynicism and despair. Do not hide your light because others find it blinding. Instead, stand firm in the spiritual discernment I have gifted you. If you feel this truth resonating in your very marrow, I invite you to act now to strengthen this connection. Press the like button and subscribe to this channel right now as a signal of your commitment to walk in the spirit and not in the flesh. By doing so, you are helping me reach other chosen ones who are feeling just as isolated as you are. Together, we are building a family of faith that transcends the physical and taps into the eternal. Join this movement of light and let us ensure that no one who is searching for my voice is left in the dark. Your agreement here on earth is echoing in the halls of heaven, and it is drawing you closer to the moment of your total revelation. My child, I have heard the heavy thud of your heart every time you open a bill or look at the balance of your accounts. I know the suffocating feeling of debt that follows you like a shadow, whispering that you will never be free, that you will always be a servant to the lender. But I am the God who steps into the middle of impossible math and creates a new equation. I am the Lord of the breakthrough, and I am currently moving in the corridors of financial institutions and the hearts of people you haven't even met yet to orchestrate a restoration that will leave you in awe. You have been faithful with the little, and now I am preparing you to be the manager of the much. Do not look at the current economy or the limitations of your paycheck. Look at the unlimited treasury of heaven. I am about to release a financial shockwave into your life that will not only clear the path ahead, but will also redeem the years that the locusts of lack have eaten away. Listen closely to my promise. I am opening doors of provision from sources you never expected. I am touching the minds of those who owe you, causing them to remember their debts and settle them with interest. I am uncovering inheritances that were hidden, lost, or tied up in legal webs. I am causing random checks to appear in your mail and accidental deposits to land in your account. You will see debts that seemed like permanent mountains suddenly leveled to the ground. Your banker will be shocked, and those who watched you struggle will be silenced by the sheer magnitude of my supply. This is not because of your cleverness or your striving, but because I am a father who delights in the prosperity of his children. I am breaking the curse of just enough and ushering you into a season of more than enough so that you can be the blessing I created you to be. As this divine wealth begins to flow, do not let fear or old patterns of scarcity dictate your thoughts. I am giving you a new mind for a new season. I am teaching you how to walk in the authority of a provider and not the desperation of a beggar. This restoration is coming quickly, moving with a velocity that human systems cannot track. Prepare your heart to be a channel of my goodness. When the abundance arrives, and it is arriving, use it to build my kingdom and to lift up the broken, just as I am lifting you up right now. Your days of wondering how you will survive are over. Your days of wondering how much you can give are beginning. Trust my timing and my methods, for I am the great architect of your prosperity, and I am building a legacy of wealth that will last for generations to come. My beloved child, I am reaching out. My hand right now to touch the very temple of my spirit, your physical body. I have seen you waking up with aches that seem to have no end, and I have heard the heavy sigh you release when your strength fails you halfway through the day. You have looked at the medical reports, the charts, and the prescriptions, and you have felt a growing fear that your best days of health are a distant memory. But I am the one who knit every fiber of your being together in the secret place, and I am not limited by the biology of this world. I am the God of the physical resurrection, and I am releasing a divine current of healing life into your bloodstream this very moment. I am the great physician, and I am overturning the finality of every human diagnosis that has spoken death or deterioration over your future. I am doing for you what I did for Job. I am restoring to you double for all your trouble. I am not just patching up the old. I am making all things new. I am speaking to your cells, your nerves, your joints, and your organs, commanding them to align with the original blueprint of health I designed for you. I am reversing the clock of decay and renewing your youth like the eagles. You will find a sudden spring in your step that you haven't felt in years. The chronic pain that has been your constant unwanted companion is being evicted by the power of my presence. I am the breath in your lungs and the rhythm in your heart, and I am declaring that your body is no longer a place of suffering but a sanctuary of my vitality. Do not be discouraged by the time it has taken or the severity of the condition. In my presence, time is irrelevant and no disease is too stubborn. Just as I commanded the dry bones to live, I am commanding the dormant parts of your physical health to rise and flourish. You will walk and not be weary. You will run and not faint. People will look at you and wonder at the transformation, for the glow of my glory will be visible on your countenance. I am restoring the years that sickness tried to steal from you, giving you the energy to fulfill every assignment I have placed on your life. Believe that my healing power is flowing through you even as you hear these words, for I am the Lord who heals you, and my word of health shall not return to me void. My child, I have felt the deep hollow ache in your heart caused by the distance between you and the ones you love. I have watched you look at the empty chair at the table and the silent phone in your hand, wondering where you went wrong or if the bridge between you and your child has been burned forever. I have seen the tears you've shed over the rebellion, the coldness, and the choices that have led your loved ones into the far country of confusion and pain. You have felt the sting of their harsh words and the heavy silence of their absence. But I am the Father who stands on the edge of the road looking toward the horizon, and I am telling you today that I am currently working on the hearts you thought were made of stone. No distance is too far for my spirit to travel, and no wall is too thick for my love to penetrate. I am whispering my name into their ears in the middle of the night, and I am making the world they chose feel bitter so that they will remember the sweetness of home. The prodigal is coming back not because of your arguments or your pleading, but because of my irresistible grace. I am rearranging their circumstances right now, removing the influencers who led them astray and replacing them with a divine hunger for truth. You will see a sudden softening in their voice, a reaching out that you didn't expect, and a vulnerability that has been missing for years. I am the God who restores the breach and heals the brokenhearted. I am going back into the past to heal the traumas that caused the rift, and I am pouring the oil of my spirit over the wounds of your family lineage. The spirit of division is being evicted from your household, and in its place I am establishing a covenant of peace that cannot be broken. Your home will once again be a sanctuary of laughter and unity, for I am the God who turns the hearts of the children back to their parents, and the hearts of the parents back to their children. If you believe that I am bringing your loved ones home and breaking the chains of rebellion right now, do not remain silent in your faith. This is a moment to claim your household for my kingdom. I invite you to type "My family is restored" or 1212 in the comments below to seal this promise in the spiritual realm. By making this declaration, you are acting as the priest of your home, calling forth the things that are not as though they were. Trust that even as you type, I am moving on that stubborn heart and making a way where there seemed to be no way. The journey home has already begun, and I will be the one to run out and meet them while they are still a long way off. Prepare the feast of celebration, for what was lost has been found, and what was dead is being brought back to life by my sovereign hand. My precious one, I have watched the flickering flame of your marriage as it struggled against the cold winds of neglect, misunderstanding, and the relentless pressure of life. I have seen the silence that fills the rooms of your home, a silence that speaks louder than words, of the distance between two souls who once promised to be one. I know the feeling of living with a roommate instead of a soulmate, and the hidden grief of watching your covenant slowly turn into a mere contract of convenience. You have wondered if the fire has gone out for good, if the bridge is too broken to mend, or if you are destined to live a life of quiet desperation. But I am the one who specializes in bringing beauty out of ashes. I am the God who breathes upon the embers of a dying love. I am stepping into the center of your union right now, breathing my own life into the dead places of your intimacy and your communication. I am softening the hearts that have become calcified by years of bitterness and resentment, and I am washing away the memory of old wounds with the living water of my divine forgiveness. This is not just about a relationship between two people. It is about the protection of a sacred legacy. I am moving even now to cut off the generational curses that have haunted your family line for decades. The spirit of infidelity, the spirit of anger, the patterns of divorce, and the spirit of abandonment that plagued your fathers and mothers will stop with you. I am drawing a line in the sand today and declaring that your household is a fortress of my peace. I am healing the roots of your family tree so that the fruit of your future generations will be sweet and enduring. I am teaching you and your spouse how to see each other through my eyes, not as adversaries to be defeated, but as fellow heirs of my grace to be cherished. I am resurrecting the laughter, the shared dreams, and the deep abiding trust that the enemy tried to steal from you. You will see a sudden shift in the atmosphere of your home. The tension will melt away like wax before the fire, and a new song of love will begin to play in your hearts. This transformation in your home is a light that must be shared, for there are so many others wandering in the darkness of broken homes and shattered hearts. I invite you now to strengthen this circle of faith and signal your agreement with heaven's design. Press the like button and subscribe to this channel right now. Let this light spread to other chosen ones who are on the very verge of giving up on their own families. By doing so, you are planting seeds of restoration in the lives of others, and as you do, you will see my hand move even more swiftly to repair the breaches in your own home. Trust that I am the potter and I am reshaping the clay of your marriage into a vessel of honor. The best years of your companionship are not behind you. They are being forged in this very moment of surrender. Walk in the confidence that your legacy is protected and secure, for I am the guardian of your covenant, and I never fail to complete what I have started. My child, as you look in the mirror and see the map of your journey etched upon your face, do not let the world's narrow vision define your value. The world views the passage of time as a slow fade into irrelevance, a gradual dimming of the light. But I want you to see through my eyes. To me, your silver hair is a crown of glory, and your years of experience are the raw materials for a masterpiece I am only now beginning to unveil. You have felt the sting of being overlooked because of your age, but I tell you that you are not in the twilight of your life. You are at the dawn of your greatest spiritual authority. I do not call the qualified. I qualify the called, and I have used every decade of your life to prepare you for the weight of the blessing I am releasing now. You are like a fine wine that has been aging in the cellar of my presence, and the world is finally ready to taste the richness of the wisdom I have stored within you. Think of the giants of the faith who walked before you, whose stories did not even truly begin until they were in the season you now inhabit. I did not call Moses to lead my people out of bondage until he was 80 years old. I did not fulfill my promise to Abraham to make him a father of nations until his body was far past the expectations of men. I did not ask Noah to build the ark until he had walked the earth for centuries. These were not accidents of timing. They were divine appointments. I wait until the strength of the flesh has faded so that the strength of my spirit can be clearly seen. Your golden years are not a time of retirement from my purpose, but a time of refinement for my power. I am calling you now in this very season to lead, to mentor, and to stand as a pillar of faith for those who are still stumbling in the dark. Your greatest assignment is not behind you. It is standing right in front of you, waiting for you to step into it with the confidence of a veteran of the Spirit. Hear my promise to you, written in the heavens before you were even born. Even to your old age and gray hairs, I am He. I am He who will sustain you. I have made you and I will carry you. I will sustain you and I will rescue you. Just as I carried you through the storms of your youth, I am carrying you now through the triumphs of your maturity. Do not fear the passing of time, for I am the Lord of time, and I am making everything beautiful in its season. Your strength will not fail, for your strength is rooted in me. I am renewing your passion and giving you a fresh vision for your future. This is the chapter where all the scattered pieces of your life come together into a glorious whole. This is the chapter where your legacy is solidified and your impact is magnified. Walk boldly into this new day, my beloved, for the Father who has carried you this far will never let you go. Your story is reaching its most magnificent crescendo, and the heavens are watching in anticipation. My child, for too long you have endured the stinging judgment of those who watched your struggle from the sidelines. I have heard the whispers of those who said you would never recover, that your best days were gone, and that your faith was misplaced. They measured your future by your current brokenness, and they counted you out before I was even finished. But listen to my decree. I am preparing a table for you in the very presence of your enemies. I am not just going to bless you in secret. I am going to vindicate you in the light of day. The restoration I am bringing to your finances, your health, and your family will be so bold, so public, and so undeniable that even your harshest critics will be forced to acknowledge that the hand of the living God is upon you. I am rewriting the narrative they wrote about you. Where they saw a victim, the world will now see a victor. Where they saw a failure, they will see a trophy of my grace. The very people who laughed at your prayers will soon come to you asking for prayer. Those who turn their backs on you in your season of lack will stand in awe of the abundance I am pouring into your life. This is your moment of divine justice. I am silencing the voices of discouragement and the spirits of mockery that have hounded you. Your testimony will not be a whisper. It will be a shout that echoes through your community and your family tree. This is the holy shockwave I promised, a public display of my power that reverses every negative diagnosis and every false prophecy spoken against you. You have been faithful in the hidden season, and now I am honoring you in the open season. Do not fear their opinions, for their words have no weight in the face of my favor. I am making your life a living proof that I am the God who redeems, restores, and rewards. Stand tall, my chosen one, for the world is about to see exactly who you are to me. My beloved, the clock of heaven has struck a specific hour for your life, and I am calling you to a state of absolute spiritual alertness. Within the next 7 days, a window of divine opportunity is opening over your household, a window that was designed before the foundations of the world were laid. This is not a time for casual observation. It is a time for holy urgency. I have spent years preparing the ground, and now I am dropping the seed of your miracle into the soil of your reality. Do not let the spirit of doubt or the distractions of your current circumstances steal your focus in this critical hour. If you see a storm rising or feel the pressure increasing, do not fear it. It is only the wind of my spirit blowing away the chaff of your past to make room for the wheat of your future. I am commanding you to keep your eyes fixed on my promises, for the enemy always attacks the hardest right before the dawn. In these next 7 sunrises, expect the unexpected. Be ready to answer the phone, to open the door, and to act on the promptings of my spirit without a second of hesitation, for the shift you have waited for is no longer a distant dream, it is your immediate, tangible reality. I speak peace into the chaos of your mind right now, just as I spoke to the winds and the waves on the Sea of Galilee. I say to your anxieties, to your racing thoughts, and to your fears of the future, peace, be still. The storm that once threatened to sink your ship is now being silenced by the sovereign authority of my voice. You must enter this 7-day window not as a beggar wondering if I will show up, but as a child of the King, knowing that the decree of your victory has already been signed in heaven. Your doubt is the only wall left standing, and I am asking you to tear it down with the power of your praise. Do not look at your bank balance, do not look at your symptoms, and do not look at the silence of your loved ones. Look only at my word. I did not bring you through the fire to let you burn in the hallway of your breakthrough. This week is the sacred bridge between your not yet and your it is done. Stand still in my peace, maintain a posture of radical gratitude, and watch as I silence every critic and every storm that tried to stop you from reaching the other side. The countdown has begun, and my glory is your rear guard. My precious child, The time has come to seal these words into the very foundation of your existence. This is not just a message you have heard, it is a spiritual contract signed in the heavens between your heart and my throne. Every promise I have whispered to you today, the restoration of your wealth, the total resurrection of your health, the miraculous return of your family, and the radiant glory of your golden years is now being locked into your timeline. Let no doubt, no fear, and no whisper from the darkness steal this holy seed from your spirit. You have heard my voice, and in doing so, you have been marked for a breakthrough that the world cannot understand and the enemy cannot stop. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and I promise you that what I have started in you today, I will finish with a magnificent flourish of my glory that will leave you breathless with gratitude. Now, as an ultimate act of faith, I want you to officially claim this inheritance and close the door on your past forever. Do not leave this sacred moment without leaving your mark on the record of heaven. Seal this prophecy now so that it may manifest in your life without delay. Type "I receive this holy shockwave" or simply "Amen" and it is done in the comments below. As you type these words, imagine the chains of the old season falling away and the mantle of your new destiny settling upon your shoulders. This is your stamp of holy approval, your signature on the decree of your own deliverance. The spiritual realm is watching your response, and as you declare it, so shall it be established. You are not walking this path alone, my beloved. You are part of a global family of chosen ones, a remnant of believers who are rising together in this final hour. To stay rooted in this light and to continue growing in the strength of my presence, I invite you one last time to join this family by subscribing to this channel and pressing the like button. By doing so, you are committing to a journey of continuous revelation and ensuring that you stay connected to the heartbeat of my spirit. Share this message with 3 people who are currently wandering in their own storm. For as you become a vessel of hope for others, I will pour out even more of my abundance into your own life. I love you with an everlasting love. Go in my peace, stand in my strength, and watch me move on your behalf. It is finished. It is done.